Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with the Great Fire of 64 AD. Nero, the Vigilers, and the burning Roman city. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Let the noise of today fall away as we step back, not just hours or years, but centuries, into the vast theater of crime and punishment in ancient Rome. If you genuinely like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. The year 64 AD marked a profound turning point in the history of Rome, a city thriving under the rule of Emperor Nero. It was characterized by its elaborate architecture and bustling markets. The urban landscape, however, was also plagued by dense housing and narrow streets, creating a precarious environment for fire hazards. This period saw an increasing reliance on the Vigilers, the city's fire-fighting force, tasked with protecting the populace from the ever-present threat of flames. The Great Fire erupted on the night of July 19th, igniting in the densely populated district of the Circus Maximus. Fueled by wooden structures and the dry summer air, it rapidly spread, engulfing entire blocks and leaving devastation in its wake. The conflagration raged for 6 days, consuming vast sections of the city, a devastating display of nature's power exacerbated by human vulnerability. In its aftermath, the fire prompted a significant re-evaluation of urban planning and fire safety. The destruction led to sweeping reforms initiated by Nero, who sought to rebuild the city with more fire-resistant materials and wider streets. This event not only reshaped the physical landscape, but also influenced the political landscape, as it sparked rumors of Nero's involvement and subsequent persecution of Christians, marking the beginning of a complex relationship between power and blame in the annals of Roman history. Ancient Rome was a marvel of urban planning, characterized by its intricate network of streets and public spaces. The city sprawled across 7 hills, with its layout designed to accommodate a burgeoning population that reached over 1 million inhabitants at its peak. These densely populated areas were marked by a mix of residential buildings, commercial hubs, and monumental structures, reflecting both the wealth and cultural aspirations of its citizens. Narrow alleys wound through neighborhoods, leading to open forums and temples that served as centers for social interaction and political discourse. The insulae, or apartment buildings, rose multiple stories high, often housing lower and middle-class families. These structures were typically constructed with limited resources, resulting in cramped living conditions. In contrast, domus, the homes of the affluent, provided spacious courtyards and lavish decorations, symbolizing status and prosperity. Public amenities such as baths, theaters, and markets were strategically placed throughout the city, fostering communal life. The presence of the Vigilers, the fire-fighting force established to maintain safety, became increasingly vital as the urban density increased. This force was tasked with managing the ever-present risk of fires that could devastate entire neighborhoods. The interplay between urban expansion and infrastructure development demonstrated a complex relationship between growth and vulnerability in this ancient metropolis. The reign of Emperor Nero marked a significant period in the political landscape of Rome, characterized by a blend of ambition and controversy. Emerging from a power struggle, his ascent was underpinned by a desire to consolidate authority. Early policies reflected a shift towards populism, as he sought to cultivate public favor through lavish games and spectacles. These actions resonated with the populace, yet underlying tensions simmered among the elite. Economic reforms initiated during this time aimed at stabilizing a fluctuating economy, but miscalculations often led to unrest among merchants and landowners. This region was marked by a growing reliance on grain imports, emphasizing the vulnerabilities of the city's supply chain. The complexities of governance intensified as Nero navigated the expectations of both the Senate and the people, leading to a precarious balance of power. The establishment of the Vigilers, a firefighting force, presented an acknowledgement of the city's vulnerability to disasters. Though aimed at enhancing safety, their presence also reflected the inherent challenges of managing a sprawling urban environment. As tensions continued to rise, the fragility of alliances within the ruling class became increasingly evident. With the backdrop of a city teetering on the edge, Nero's reign would soon be tested by unforeseen trials, altering the trajectory of Rome's history. Wood dominated the urban infrastructure, with structures largely composed of timber and plaster. This combination, while economical and light, rendered the city vulnerable. Narrow streets flanked by closely packed buildings created a labyrinthine environment, amplifying the potential for rapid fire spread. Roofs, often thatched with combustible materials, contributed to the risk, allowing flames to leap from one structure to the next with alarming efficiency. Brick and stone were utilized in more prominent public edifices, yet residential areas remained predominantly wooden. The absence of a comprehensive fire prevention system left the majority of the populace exposed. The vigilers, tasked with firefighting duties, were often understaffed and ill-equipped. Their presence was a deterrent, yet they lacked sufficient resources to combat a large-scale fire effectively. This region of Rome, vibrant yet precarious, thrived amidst its architectural contradictions. Streets filled with merchants and citizens went about their daily lives, often unaware of the latent dangers surrounding them. The juxtaposition of beauty and risk defined the cityscape as the sun cast its glow on the wooden facades. An unsettling tension lingered in the air, foreshadowing the impending chaos that would engulf this ancient metropolis. An era marked by both ambition and vulnerability, it stood on the brink of transformation, awaiting the trial of fire. The social structure of this ancient civilization was intricate, dominated by a clear hierarchy. At the base, the plebeians, comprising the majority, occupied a vital position within the city. Their daily lives were marked by labor, often in harsh conditions, yet their resilience contributed significantly to the urban fabric. This class of commoners engaged in trade, crafts, and agriculture, forming the backbone of the economy. The plebs had limited political power, yet their collective voice resonated in the streets of Rome. As dissatisfaction grew during the years leading up to the catastrophic event, their unrest became increasingly apparent. Economic strain, exacerbated by heavy taxation and the disparities between social classes, fueled a sense of discontent. The expectations of the plebeians, once modest, began to shift as they sought better living conditions and a greater share of the empire's wealth. Amid the flames that engulfed the city, the plebeians faced unprecedented challenges. Their homes turned to ash. Many found themselves displaced, their livelihoods shattered. The aftermath of the fire revealed stark inequalities, prompting a re-evaluation of their role within society. The response of the elite and the vigiles, tasked with maintaining order, would shape the future of this region, influencing social dynamics for generations to come. Tensions simmered in the streets of Rome in the years leading up to the fire. Discontent among the populace grew, fueled by economic instability and the strains of governance. Citizens faced rising taxes and food shortages, exacerbating feelings of disenchantment with the ruling class. The disparity between the wealthy elite and the impoverished masses became increasingly pronounced, creating a palpable sense of unrest. Political maneuvering intensified, with factions forming around various leaders, each vying for influence and control. Rome, a city of grand architecture and opulent lifestyles, masked the struggles of its lower classes. Public entertainment, while abundant, served as a distraction rather than a solution to the underlying issues. The games in the amphitheater provided brief reprieve, yet they could not quell the growing dissatisfaction. Amid this backdrop, the city's infrastructure faltered, with narrow streets and flammable structures increasing the vulnerability to disaster. The architectural choices of the time, characterized by densely packed wooden buildings, posed a considerable risk. As social tensions mounted, the atmosphere was charged with uncertainty. Discontent simmered, ready to ignite, just as the Great Fire would soon consume the city. The moment of catastrophe would not only reshape the urban landscape, but would also serve as a catalyst for change in governance and societal structure, marking a pivotal moment in Roman history. The day the fire began unfolded in the heart of Rome, where narrow streets and densely packed buildings created an environment ripe for disaster. Ignition points emerged in various locations, with flammable materials piled precariously close to open flames. The initial spark ignited within a small shop, quickly fanned by the summer winds that swept through the city. This region, characterized by its wooden structures, proved highly susceptible to the spreading flames. As the fire raged, it rapidly consumed entire blocks, its hunger fueled by the dry timber that dominated the architecture. The rapid spread transformed the once vibrant marketplace into a chaotic scene of panic and despair. The vigiles, tasked with firefighting, found themselves overwhelmed, ill-equipped to combat such an inferno. Their efforts were hampered by both the sheer scale of the flames and the frantic crowds attempting to escape. The smoke billowed skyward, darkening the city's skyline and casting a pall over its inhabitants. Buildings crumbled under the relentless heat, and the sound of destruction reverberated through the streets. Amidst this chaos, the populace grappled with the realization that their city was changing irrevocably. The devastation would not only necessitate reconstruction, but would alter the very fabric of Roman society, leading to new governance strategies and public safety measures in the aftermath. RY mist accounts emerged as crucial historical sources, capturing the immediate reactions of those who lived through the fire. These narratives provide a window into the chaos and confusion that enveloped the city. Personal testimonies reflect a range of experiences, from the frantic attempts to extinguish the flames to the desperate evacuations of citizens. The vivid descriptions highlight the all-consuming nature of the inferno, with some witnesses recounting the suffocating smoke that enveloped the streets, while others shared the horrifying sights of buildings collapsing. The validity of these accounts, however, invites scrutiny. Many were penned by individuals with varying degrees of proximity to power, leading to potential biases. Some sources, like the historian Tacitus, attempted to present a more objective analysis, yet even his writings were influenced by the political climate of his time. The motivations behind these narratives can vary significantly. Some were crafted to vilify Nero, while others sought to emphasize the heroism of the vigiles in their attempts to control the fire. As these accounts were preserved through generations, they became intertwined with legend and myth, complicating historical accuracy. The blending of fact and fiction serves as a reminder of the challenges historians face when reconstructing events from the past. Each testimony offers a unique perspective, contributing to a richer understanding of this transformative period in Roman history. The conditions present in the city played a significant role in the rapid escalation of the Great Fire. Dense urban architecture, characterized by tightly packed wooden structures, facilitated the fire's swift advance. These buildings, often constructed close together, created an environment where flames could leap from one structure to another with alarming ease. The narrow streets, filled with debris and flammable materials, further hindered efforts to contain the inferno. Environmental factors also contributed to the disaster. Onset of hot, dry winds provided an additional impetus for the flames, transforming the urban landscape into a chaotic battleground against the spread of fire. The presence of numerous shops selling oils and other combustible goods added to the peril. These establishments, which often faced the streets, became immediate targets for the encroaching flames. Firefighting efforts were hampered by limited resources. The vigiles, responsible for maintaining order and safety in the city, struggled to manage the unfolding crisis, often lacking adequate equipment and manpower. Their attempts to extinguish the flames were largely ineffective. The chaotic response, coupled with the city's infrastructure, allowed the fire to consume vast areas, reshaping the very fabric of Rome. This event marked a pivotal moment, altering the course of urban planning and fire safety in subsequent years. The wind played a crucial role during the Great Fire of 64 AD, intensifying the flames and facilitating their spread through the densely populated streets of Rome. This region, characterized by narrow alleys and tightly packed structures, provided ideal conditions for the fire to leap from one building to another. Meteorological conditions prior to the incident had created an atmosphere ripe for disaster. A prolonged period of dry weather had desiccated the materials used in construction, making them more susceptible to ignition. The shifting winds contributed to the chaos, altering the direction of the flames with little warning. Strong gusts funneled through the urban landscape, propagating embers that ignited structures far from the original source of the fire. These winds, typically associated with the late summer months, were unpredictable and fierce. They not only exacerbated the destruction, but also complicated the efforts of the vigiles, the city's firefighting force. This organization struggled against the relentless advance of the blaze, hampered by the very elements that had once served as a natural barrier. Firebrands carried by the wind landed on roofs and balconies, transforming entire neighborhoods into infernos within moments. The atmosphere, thick with smoke and ash, contained the remnants of a once thriving urban hub, now reduced to ruins. The interplay of fire and wind left an indelible mark on both the landscape and the collective memory of the city. A profound sense of panic and disorder enveloped the streets of Rome as flames consumed structures, spreading rapidly through densely populated areas. Citizens emerged from their homes, faces painted with fear and confusion. The once vibrant marketplaces, filled with the hum of commerce, transformed into scenes of chaos. People stumbled over each other, desperately searching for loved ones, while others carried what belongings they could salvage from the inferno. This region, known for its grandeur, now bore witness to the overwhelming power of destruction. Shouting filled the air as citizens sought refuge amidst the uncertainty. The cries of alarm melded with the crackling of flames, creating an atmosphere thick with anxiety. In the midst of this turmoil, the vigiles, tasked with maintaining order and extinguishing fires, struggled to contain the spreading inferno. Their efforts were hampered not only by the ferocity of the blaze but also by the sheer volume of chaos surrounding them. In these moments, societal bonds frayed, and a profound sense of helplessness pervaded the populace. Many fled towards the Tiber River, hoping to find safety as the flames illuminated the night sky. Streets that once bustled with life were now cloaked in smoke and ash, leaving an imprint of devastation on the city and its inhabitants. Amidst the destruction, resilience flickered, though obscured by the overwhelming despair of the event. The urgent need for effective firefighting emerged within the chaos of the flames. In response to the devastation wrought by the Great Fire of 64 AD, Emperor Nero recognized the necessity of a structured fire response system. The vigilers, or watchmen, were formed to combat the relentless threat of urban fires in a sprawling metropolis. This organization comprised both freedmen and slaves, tasked with the protection of the city and its inhabitants. Initially, the vigilers operated under military discipline, illustrating the gravity of their role in safeguarding this urban expanse. Equipped with basic tools such as buckets, hooks, and ladders, they patrolled the streets, ready to respond to blazes before they could escalate. Their presence became a vital component of life in Rome, embodying a shift towards organized emergency management. As the years progressed, the vigilers adapted to the evolving needs of the city, establishing a network of watch stations throughout the urban landscape. This proactive approach not only mitigated the risk of future fires, but also fostered a sense of security among the populace. The legacy of this organizing would resonate through subsequent centuries, underscoring the importance of preparedness in densely populated regions where the specter of fire loomed ever present in the shadows of history. This organization, the Vigiles, played a crucial role in maintaining order amidst the chaos of urban life. Comprised of 7 cohorts, each with its own designated sector, they patrolled the sprawling streets of Rome, ever vigilant against the threat of flames. Each cohort contained a mix of freedmen and slaves, reflecting the complex social fabric of the city. Under the leadership of a prefect, these individuals were tasked not only with extinguishing fires, but also with enforcing building regulations, ensuring that structures adhered to safety standards that minimized fire risk. Responsibilities extended beyond mere firefighting. The Vigiles also acted as night watchmen, preventing crime and maintaining overall public safety. Their presence was a deterrent, instilling a sense of security in a city that often teetered on the brink of disorder. The equipment they utilized was rudimentary yet effective, including buckets, hooks, and ladders, which allowed for rapid response in emergencies. Their training emphasized coordination and teamwork, critical elements during intense situations. Each member understood the weight of their duty, as failure could lead to devastating consequences for the affected neighborhoods. This structure not only served to protect the populace, but also solidified the significance of civic responsibility, reinforcing communal ties in an era marked by uncertainty. The Vigiles, tasked with maintaining order and safety within the city, sprang into action as the flames began to engulf the urban landscape. Composed of both freedmen and slaves, this group was not solely a fire brigade. They also acted as night watchmen. Their initial response involved gathering as many citizens as possible, coordinating efforts to combat the inferno with limited resources and equipment. Water was scarce, and the narrow streets of Rome complicated their movements. Buckets filled from nearby fountains, while citizens formed human chains to transport them to the most affected areas. Some attempted to create fire breaks by demolishing structures, a strategy aimed at halting the flames' advance. Unfortunately, the wind shifted unexpectedly, redirecting the blaze and complicating their efforts. Despite their dedication, the initial response proved insufficient against the sheer ferocity of the fire. As the hours passed, entire blocks succumbed to the flames, consuming homes, temples, and marketplaces alike. Smoke filled the air, creating a choking haze that obscured visibility and hampered coordination. The devastation spread rapidly, leaving the Vigiles overwhelmed. Their numbers were limited, and the sheer scale of the disaster rapidly became apparent. This event would prompt a re-evaluation of emergency preparedness in a city unaccustomed to such widespread destruction. Nero's leadership during the Great Fire of 64 AD reveals a complex interplay between authority and crisis management. As flames engulfed the heart of Rome, the emperor emerged in a dual role of both a ruler and a performer. Historical accounts suggest he organized relief efforts, directing resources to assist the affected populace. His establishment of temporary shelters and provisions aimed to mitigate the immediate suffering caused by the flames. Yet, decisions made in the aftermath of the inferno cast shadows on his intentions. The construction of a grand new palace, the Domus Aurea, on the ashes of the devastated region raised questions about his priorities. This shift in focus was perceived by many as self-serving, prompting accusations of opportunism amid tragedy. His use of the Vigiles, the newly formed firefighting brigade, marked a significant change in urban management. Though they were initially ill-prepared for the scale of the disaster, their organization represented an effort to institute a more structured response to future emergencies. The introduction of regulations regarding building materials and urban planning emerged from the lessons learned during the chaos. These actions contributed to a legacy intertwined with both restoration and criticism. The Great Fire became a pivotal moment, reshaping not only the city's landscape, but also the perception of Nero's rule amidst adversity. The Vigiles, tasked with firefighting and maintaining order, faced formidable challenges in the wake of the Great Fire. Water sources were limited and often distant, complicating their efforts to combat the relentless flames that consumed vast sections of the city. The Tiber River, while nearby, was obstructed by debris and panic-stricken citizens, further hindering access. Aqueducts, the Roman marvel of engineering, struggled to deliver adequate supplies amidst the chaos, leaving many firefighters reliant on hand-drawn buckets and makeshift vessels. In this region, the narrow streets and tightly packed structures amplified the inferno's reach, creating a perilous environment for the Vigiles. Flames leapt from one building to another, igniting roofs and engulfing entire blocks before any water could reach them. The urgency of their task was compounded by the need to maintain order, as looting and despair took root among the populace. Efforts to douse the fire often resulted in more challenges. Water splashed against walls, but the heat evaporated it almost instantly, rendering their efforts futile. The sound of crackling wood and crumbling stone filled the air, underscoring the relentless power of the flames. The vigiles labored tirelessly, grappling with an enemy that seemed to consume everything in its path, as they fought to restore some semblance of safety amid the devastation. The aftermath of the flames left deep psychological scars on the Roman populace. A pervasive sense of vulnerability emerged as survivors grappled with the loss of their homes and loved ones. Fear settled into the hearts of those who remained, a silent specter haunting daily life. The once bustling streets echoed with the absence of laughter and commerce. Memories of the vibrant city now intertwined with visions of destruction, creating a haunting dichotomy. This region, once a center of culture and power, became a reminder of fragility. Anxiety permeated the atmosphere, manifesting in whispered conversations and furtive glances. Public gatherings transformed into discussions of fate, as citizens sought explanations for the calamity that had befallen them. Some began to attribute the disaster to divine wrath, an omen foretelling future misfortunes. Such beliefs provided a framework for understanding, albeit a troubling one. Amidst the chaos, social bonds strained under the weight of grief and loss. Communities rallied to support one another, yet underlying tensions simmered. The question of blame arose, with fingers pointed towards the emperor and his perceived indifference. As the city slowly began to rebuild, the scars of the past lingered in the collective psyche, shaping the identity of a people forever marked by the Great Fire. The echoes of that fateful summer resonated through the annals of history, serving as a somber testament to resilience amid overwhelming adversity. The destruction of key landmarks marked a profound transformation in the Roman landscape. Public buildings, once bustling with the vibrant energy of civic life, fell victim to the relentless flames. The grand structures that had symbolized the might of the empire crumbled under the inferno's unyielding grasp. The Forum, the heart of political discourse, became a charred remnant of its former self, a silent witness to the chaos that swept through the city. Temples, sacred spaces dedicated to the pantheon of deities, faced a similarly devastating fate. The Temple of Jupiter, a towering edifice of marble and gold, was consumed entirely. Its ornate reliefs and towering columns, which had stood for centuries as a testament to Roman devotion, now lay in ruin, their glory reduced to ash. The loss of these sites resonated deeply within the cultural fabric, as they represented not just structures, but the very essence of Roman identity. Amidst this destruction, the remnants of civilization began to take shape anew. Reconstruction efforts, led by the Vigiles, sought to quell the flames of despair and restore order. The urgency of rebuilding became apparent as the surviving populace yearned for a return to stability. Yet, the scars of that summer remained etched in the memory of the city, a reminder of vulnerability in the face of nature's wrath. The affected areas encompassed a vast expanse, with neighborhoods experiencing devastation that altered the very fabric of Roman life. The densely populated Suburra, known for its narrow alleys and crowded tenements, witnessed the flames spread with alarming speed. Wooden structures, packed tightly together, became kindling, consuming livelihoods and dreams within moments. The cries of families echoed through the charred remnants as they sifted through the ashes, searching for something salvable amidst the ruins. The Forum, once a bustling center of commerce and civic life, lay eerily silent. Temples and public buildings, revered for their architectural grandeur, succumbed to the heat. Citizens unhurried, once confident in their societal stability, now faced uncertainty. Those who had thrived in the marketplace found themselves displaced, their businesses reduced to mere memories. In the affluent regions, such as the Palatine Hill, luxury residences were also not spared. The destruction penetrated all levels of society, highlighting a shared fate. Scattered remnants of pottery, jewelry, and everyday items told stories of lives abruptly interrupted. Survivors congregated in makeshift camps, forging new bonds amid the tragedy. This collective experience transformed their identities as the city began to rise anew, reshaping itself from the ashes of despair. Resilience emerged as a defining characteristic, nurturing hope for a future rebuilt on lessons learned from the past. The aftermath of the Great Fire of 64 AD reshaped the landscape of Rome, leaving behind a charred expanse that required urgent attention. Ashen remnants of once vibrant structures littered the streets, while the air carried the acrid scent of destruction. The fire displaced countless citizens, forcing them into temporary shelters as they grappled with loss. Reconstruction efforts commenced swiftly, driven by a collective desire to restore the city. Amid the ruins, the Vigiles, Rome's firefighting corps, emerged as a crucial force. They worked tirelessly to prevent further disasters, establishing new protocols for fire safety and response. Their presence was felt throughout the city as they patrolled the streets, ensuring that flames would not consume what little remained. This newfound organization introduced a level of preparedness previously unseen in urban life. Veils prepare when faced the scene. In urban life, Theogos of the mind, social dynamics shifted. Wealthier classes began to invest in rebuilding efforts, often at the expense of the marginalized who had suffered the most. This disparity highlighted existing inequalities, as reconstruction efforts favored grandiose displays over practical support for those in need. Architectural innovations materialized during this time, with structures designed to be more fire-resistant, fundamentally altering the silhouette of the city. History would remember this period not only for the flames but for the resilience and transformation that followed. The aftermath of destruction left a profound imprint on the political landscape of Rome. In the wake of the Inferno, Nero's reputation began to shift dramatically. Allegations emerged, insinuating that he had orchestrated the fire to pave the way for his grand architectural ambitions. Amidst the ruins, whispers filled the streets, casting shadows on his leadership and intentions. While an order filled the height of distrust, the emperor sought to distance himself from the chaos. He convened public assemblies, addressing the citizens with fervor, emphasizing his commitment to rebuilding. New structures, adorned with opulence, began to rise from the ashes, symbolizing both recovery and ambition. The construction of a lavish palace, the Domus Aurea, further fueled suspicions. Critics questioned the sincerity behind his efforts, as opulence juxtaposed against the suffering of the populace. The Vigiles, Rome's firefighting force, were restructured, reflecting a newfound emphasis on public safety. This reformation served as a response to the growing unease among citizens. As rebuilding commenced, so did the emergence of new laws aimed at preventing future disasters, illustrating a shift toward governance shaped by the recent calamity. Despite these measures, Nero's legacy remained entwined with the fire, public opinion continued to fluctuate, illustrating the tenuous balance between leadership and perception in an era defined by both destruction and renewal. Accusations emerged almost immediately, targeting various groups as a means to redirect the rising discontent. Christians became prominent scapegoats in this volatile landscape. Their presence in Rome had always been met with suspicion, often viewed as outsiders disturbing the established order. As flames consumed structures and lives, whispers of blame spread with alarming speed. The absence of traditional Roman worship practices was seized upon, casting them as a threat to the societal fabric. Nero's decision to implicate Christians served multiple purposes. It shifted public attention away from his administration's shortcomings, consolidating his hold on power while diverting scrutiny. Early reports indicated that Christians were not only responsible for the devastation, but also engaged in subversive acts against the city. This led to a series of brutal persecutions characterized by public trials and executions. The spectacle of suffering transformed into a grim entertainment, drawing crowds that witnessed the brutal punishment of those labeled as enemies of the state. Some accounts describe horrific methods of execution designed to instill fear among the populace. This atmosphere of suspicion fostered a culture of accusation, feeding into a cycle of mistrust. As the fires died down, the repercussions of these actions would ripple through society, leaving an indelible mark on the course of Roman history. Cultural expressions began to shift significantly in the aftermath of the Inferno. Artists and writers responded to the devastation, channeling the collective trauma into their works. New themes emerged, reflecting a society grappling with loss and rebirth. Poetry flourished, as verses painted vivid images of the charred remains of the city, interwoven with hope for renewal. The written word became a vessel for both lamentation and resilience. In the visual arts, scenes of destruction and salvation found their way onto canvases and frescoes. These artworks did not merely document the calamity, they sought to convey deeper emotions and philosophical reflections on mortality and the divine. Amid the blackened ruins, a burgeoning emphasis on human endurance surfaced, revealing an underlying desire to reconstruct both the city and the spirit of its people. Public discourse evolved as well, with orators and playwrights employing the fire as a backdrop for exploration of moral themes. The tragedy invited scrutiny of leadership and responsibility, particularly aimed at those in power. In this period, the tragic narratives allowed for a critical examination of societal values, while simultaneously galvanizing communal identity. Each brushstroke and verse contributed to a cultural landscape reshaped by the flames, as the remnants of the past guided the aspirations for a more unified future. Nero's reign, marked by ambition and controversy, cast a long shadow over the events that unfolded within the city. The fire, which ravaged much of Rome, served as both a catalyst for transformation and a lens through which his leadership was scrutinized. This period indicated a shift in urban planning and architectural ambition, as the devastation provided an opportunity for reconstruction. Public opinion oscillated between admiration for Nero's vision and suspicion of his intentions. Well, in the aftermath, the vigiles, Rome's firefighters and watchmen, were thrust into the forefront, tasked with managing the chaotic remnants of the Inferno. Their presence reflected an evolving understanding of urban safety and community responsibility. The establishment of a more organized firefighting force marked a pivotal moment in the city's governance. Political narratives asserted that Nero himself had ignited the flames, seeking to clear space for his grand architectural projects. Such interpretations permeated the historical discourse, intertwining legend with fact. While evidence remained scant, The controversy surrounding the fire highlighted the complexities of imperial power and public perception. The aftermath of the Great Fire shaped not only the physical landscape, but also the socio-political fabric of Rome, steering the city toward a future that would echo through the annals of history. Nero's vision for the reconstruction of Rome emerged amidst the ashes and ruins, reflecting an unprecedented ambition to reshape the city. New structures featured wider streets and the introduction of fire-resistant materials, a response to the devastating impact of the flames. These innovations aimed not only to enhance safety, but also to signify a rebirth, a transformation from chaos to order. Public spaces were reimagined with grandiose designs that encapsulated the emperor's desire for a magnificent capital. Temples, public baths, and sprawling villas adorned the landscape, symbolizing a shift toward opulence. The urban renewal plan included the creation of the Domus Aurea, an extravagant palace that epitomized the excesses of the era. Its gardens and artificial lakes offered a striking contrast to the stark remnants of the fire. These changes elicited mixed reactions among citizens. While some marveled at the new architecture and infrastructure, others viewed the reconstruction as a manipulation of public sentiment, a means for Nero to consolidate power. The vigilers, tasked with fire prevention and safety, played a crucial role in this revitalization effort, their presence reassuring a populace still reeling from the calamity. Architectural innovations emerged as a direct response to the devastation wrought by the fire, reshaping the urban landscape of Rome. Structures began to incorporate fire-resistant materials such as brick and stone, replacing the previously common wooden frameworks. These new designs aimed to minimize the risk of future conflagrations, establishing a legacy that would influence construction techniques for centuries. Thicker walls and the use of vaulted ceilings became prevalent, allowing for greater durability and airflow. Such features not only enhanced the structural integrity, but also contributed to the overall aesthetic of the city. Courtyards and open spaces were integrated into designs, providing natural fire breaks that would impede the spread of flames. This emphasis on fire safety also led to innovations in urban planning, with wider streets facilitating easier access for emergency services and reducing the density of buildings. Architects began to consider the orientation of structures, promoting designs that encouraged better ventilation, further decreasing the chances of fire outbreaks. The aftermath of the Great Fire catalyzed a profound transformation in Roman architecture, defining a new era characterized by resilience and foresight. As citizens adapted to their revitalized environment, these innovations not only served practical purposes, but also symbolized a renewed commitment to safety and stability in the heart of the empire. Political dynamics shifted significantly in the aftermath of the Great Fire of 64 AD. The Senate, faced with a devastated city and restless populace, found its authority challenged amid rising tensions. Leaders navigated a landscape marked by uncertainty and fear, striving to maintain control while addressing the immediate needs of the citizens. This governing body, traditionally powerful, had to adapt to the realities of a city in crisis. As rebuilding commenced, the Senate convened to discuss measures that would restore both infrastructure and confidence among the populace. Proposals for new laws emerged, focusing on urban planning and fire safety regulations. These discussions illuminated the Senate's struggle to balance the demands of the people with the image of imperial stability. Political factions arose, each seeking to capitalize on the disaster for their own gain, further complicating the legislative process. Nero's leadership came under scrutiny, with senators debating his response to the disaster. Some viewed his actions as inadequate, while others rallied to support his vision for a grander Rome. Amidst the ruins, alliances formed and fractured, reflecting the complex interplay of loyalty and ambition. The Senate's role evolved, becoming both a source of governance and a battleground for political maneuvering, shaping the future of this pivotal city in the ancient world. Nero's great palace, known as the Domus Aurea, emerged from the ashes of urban devastation, symbolizing both ambition and excess in a time of turmoil. Constructed in the aftermath of the Great Fire, this opulent residence exemplified the emperor's desire to showcase imperial grandeur. Vast gardens, intricate frescoes, and sprawling corridors characterized the structure, reflecting a stark contrast to the charred remnants of the city surrounding it. Controversy enveloped the palace, as many viewed it as a blatant display of vanity in a period marked by suffering. The elite, while intrigued by its lavishness, grappled with the ethical implications of such ostentation amidst the struggles of the populace. This region, once thriving, now bore the scars of destruction, igniting debates around governance and responsibility. Restoration efforts focused on urban renewal and the allocation of resources to rebuild the city. Yet, the existence of the Domus Aurea loomed large, serving as a reminder of the emperor's priorities. Its architecture, described as a manifestation of imperial might, became a focal point for resentment, challenging the delicate balance between power and public sentiment. The aftermath of destruction prompted a severe economic impact on the city and its inhabitants. The cost of the fire, estimated in monumental amounts, weighed heavily on the already strained resources of the Roman economy. Reconstruction efforts necessitated vast sums, diverting funds from other critical areas such as public services and infrastructure. This region, once bustling with commerce, faced a downturn as merchants struggled to regain their footing amidst the ashes. The vigiles, responsible for urban safety, were quickly overwhelmed. Their inability to contain the flames laid bare the inadequacies within the existing systems of fire management and city planning. Rebuilding was not merely about restoring structures. It required a comprehensive re-evaluation of safety protocols, which further drained fiscal reserves. The construction of new buildings incorporated more durable materials, but these advancements came at a high price, limiting accessibility for many citizens. Inflation soared as demand for resources outstripped supply. This economic strain manifested in rising tensions among the populace, with many questioning the allocation of funds towards imperial projects over communal needs. While the reconstruction of public monuments aimed to restore civic pride, the cost weighed heavily on the citizens, many of whom had lost everything. The long-term implications of these decisions would ripple through the fabric of Roman society, reshaping its economic landscape for generations. The devastation left by the Great Fire of 64 AD necessitated a rapid response, particularly in the realm of labor. Slavery played a vital role in the rebuilding efforts, as the Roman economy heavily relied on this system. Enslaved individuals comprised a significant portion of the workforce, their contributions critical in restoring the city to its former glory. Vast amounts of resources were required for reconstruction, from marble to timber. Enslaved laborers, often skilled in various trades, were deployed to execute the intricate tasks of architecture and craftsmanship. These individuals worked under harsh conditions, driven by the urgency of the situation and the authority of their masters. The labor force expanded in response to the fire's widespread destruction. Those who survived the disaster found themselves enmeshed in a new reality, where the demand for skilled and unskilled labor surged. Urban planners and architects capitalized on this available workforce, orchestrating the rebuilding process with the intent of not only restoring but enhancing the city's infrastructure. This period marked a significant shift in the perception of enslaved labor. It was seen not merely as a necessity, but as a vehicle to realize grand visions of urban renewal. The societal dynamics surrounding slavery thus evolved, reflecting the complexities of resilience amidst tragedy. The fire that ravaged the city prompted significant changes in firefighting practices, leading to the evolution of the vigils, established as a response to the increasing threat of urban fires. This force transformed from a rudimentary group into a more organized and efficient entity. Initially composed of volunteers, their structure began to formalize under imperial oversight, emphasizing a need for rapid response and systematic prevention. This region saw the introduction of fire breaks and the use of firefighting tools such as hooks and water buckets, which were essential in containing blazes. Training became more rigorous, with an emphasis on coordination and teamwork. Each member was assigned specific duties, ensuring a swift and organized approach to fire incidents. The implementation of watchtowers throughout the city allowed for early detection, enabling quicker mobilization of resources. The architecture of public buildings was revised to include materials less susceptible to flames, reflecting a newfound understanding of fire safety. Innovations like the use of aqueducts for water supply further enhanced their capabilities. This proactive approach not only addressed immediate threats, but also established a legacy of urban safety practices. In time, the vigiles became a vital aspect of Roman urban life, embodying the city's resilience and adaptive strategies in the face of destruction. The devastation wrought by the Great Fire necessitated a re-evaluation of urban infrastructure. Building regulations emerged as a response to the vulnerabilities exposed during the Inferno. Newly established codes dictated materials, construction techniques, and architectural designs to enhance fire resistance. These measures aimed to prevent future catastrophes and to instill a sense of safety among the inhabitants. Timber, once the primary material for construction, saw restrictions in favor of stone and brick. This shift reflected a growing understanding of fire dynamics and the importance of non-combustible materials. Streets were widened to facilitate the movement of emergency response and to reduce the risk of flames spreading through densely packed structures. The layout of the city itself underwent scrutiny, as planners sought to create more open spaces that could serve as fire breaks. Inspections became regular occurrences, with officials tasked with ensuring compliance to these safety codes. Non-compliance resulted in penalties, reinforcing the seriousness of the regulations. Public awareness campaigns educated citizens on fire safety practices, further embedding a culture of vigilance within the community. Through these systematic adaptations, it became evident that Rome was not merely rebuilding, it was evolving. The scars of the fire lingered, yet the framework of a safer, more resilient city began to take shape, reflecting a profound transformation in urban governance. This transformation extended into the realm of religious practices, with the fire having profound implications for the city's spiritual landscape. Pagan rituals that once dominated the cultural fabric faced scrutiny and adaptation. The devastating Inferno was perceived by many as a divine omen, a sign of the gods' displeasure. Temples dedicated to deities such as Jupiter and Mars stood silent, their sanctuaries charred and empty, prompting a re-evaluation of the traditional polytheistic faith. Communities turned to prayer and offerings, seeking to appease the gods who they believed had turned their backs during the conflagration. Rituals were altered, with an increased emphasis on purification and atonement. The symbolism of fire took on new meaning. It was no longer merely a source of warmth or light, but a powerful force reflecting both destruction and the potential for renewal. This duality became central to the religious discourse of the time. Vigorous debates emerged about the proper response to the calamity. Should the city return to its ancient practices or embrace new forms of worship? In the ashes of the past, a budding monotheistic sentiment began to emerge, laying the groundwork for future ideological shifts. The melding of fear, reverence, and adaptability marked this pivotal moment within the heart of Rome, where the sacred and the secular intertwined in unexpected ways. The aftermath of the Great Fire of 64 AD prompted a search for accountability amidst the ashes of destruction. Scapegoats emerged in this crucible of chaos, with the Christian community swiftly becoming a focal point for blame. Accusations of arson, fueled by suspicion and hostility, painted this group as the harbingers of disaster. They found themselves thrust into a perilous position, ostracized and persecuted, in an era when societal cohesion was paramount. The circumstances surrounding the conflagration were exploited to manipulate public sentiment. The Emperor Nero, seeking to deflect criticism from his own administration, redirected the ire of the populace towards these early followers of Christ. This led to a series of brutal crackdowns where individuals were arrested without substantial evidence. Tortures and executions became tools of statecraft, illustrating how fear can be weaponized in the pursuit of control. In this environment of paranoia, the very identity of the Christians became entwined with martyrdom. Acts of violence against them were not only tolerated, but often encouraged, as they served to reinforce the narrative of a threat that needed to be eradicated. Churches, homes, and communal gatherings transformed into places of refuge, where resilience blossomed amid persecution. The shadows of this tumultuous period cast long, shaping both the community's faith and the socio-political landscape of Rome. Moshe, Nero's response to the devastation involved a carefully orchestrated public relations strategy aimed at reshaping perceptions amidst widespread discontent. Entertainment became a vital tool during this period of reconstruction. Grand games and elaborate festivals were organized, designed to distract the populace from their suffering and to reinforce the image of a benevolent ruler. The amphitheaters echoed with laughter and cheers as citizens gathered to witness spectacles that would momentarily alleviate the weight of their loss. They then ceased. Events were not mere distractions. They served a deeper purpose in restoring public confidence. Gladiatorial contests, chariot races, and theatrical performances filled the calendar, ensuring that the population remained engaged and entertained. They provided an opportunity for Nero to present himself as the generous benefactor committed to the revival of the city. Spectacles were often accompanied by substantial gifts, including food distributions and financial aid to those who had lost their homes. This focus on entertainment also allowed for the display of grandeur, with the newly constructed venues showcasing architectural achievements. The rebuilding efforts became intertwined with the performances, as the reconstruction of vital infrastructure symbolized resilience amidst the flickering flames of the past. These gatherings offered a facade of normalcy, a temporary reprieve from the stark reality of destruction and loss. The strategy effectively masked the undercurrents of discontent that simmered within the populace. The fire itself, a catastrophic event that engulfed much of the city, served as a pivotal backdrop for political maneuvering. With flames consuming structures, the aftermath revealed a landscape of devastation, reshaping the urban environment and influencing public perception. In the wake of destruction, reconstruction efforts were swiftly mobilized, allowing for the introduction of grand architectural projects that symbolized resilience and renewal. These initiatives were not merely practical, they were laden with propaganda, reinforcing the image of a leader determined to restore glory. The newly erected buildings, adorned with opulence, became essential tools in the narrative crafted by Nero's administration. Their design and scale reflected the empire's strength, framing the emperor as a benefactor amidst calamity. This era saw the cultivation of artistic and cultural projects, further embedding Nero's legacy within the fabric of Roman society. Public spectacles, including games and festivals, were organized to distract the populace from the lingering trauma. Such events served dual purposes. They provided entertainment while simultaneously redirecting attention towards the emperor's benevolence. This carefully orchestrated display of generosity aimed to cultivate loyalty among the citizens, ensuring that their grievances faded into the background. The Great Fire of 64 AD thus emerged not merely as an event of destruction, but as a catalyst for reshaping societal narratives and reinforcing imperial authority. The Great Fire of 64 AD stands alongside other significant conflagrations in antiquity, each bearing unique consequences. The fire in Carthage during the Punic Wars, for instance, served as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of cities amidst conflict. That devastation not only reshaped the urban landscape, but also altered the course of military strategy, showcasing the dual role of fire as both weapon and consequence. The burning of Alexandria, fueled by political unrest in the 3rd century AD, decimated vast libraries and centers of knowledge. This event underscored the fragility of cultural heritage as flames consumed invaluable texts and scrolls. The aftermath involved a prolonged period of intellectual stagnation. Amansam difiond olnadet moremu imwistui or kolchigwa south olding disen, shifting the focus of scholarship and leading to the rise of new schools of thought in neighboring regions. In contrast, the fire in Ephesus, attributed to natural causes, resulted in significant architectural transformation. The rebuilding efforts led to the construction of the opulent Temple of Artemis, demonstrating how destruction catalyzed innovations and expressions of civic pride. Each of these events reveals a complex interplay between fire and society, illustrating how such moments of calamity often precipitate both immediate suffering and long-term change. The echoes of these historical fires resonate through time, shaping the narratives of resilience and adaptation in the face of adversity. The Great Fire of 64 AD unleashed devastation across Rome, consuming vast districts and leaving a profound impact on the city's landscape and its inhabitants. This conflagration, ignited under uncertain circumstances, necessitated immediate action from the authorities. In its wake, the Vigilers, Rome's nascent fire brigade, emerged as a crucial institution, tasked with preventing future disasters and safeguarding urban life. The establishment of this force marked a significant shift in the governance of public safety. Reconstruction efforts after the fire revealed a city eager to redefine itself. New building codes were implemented, mandating the use of fire-resistant materials. Streets were widened to facilitate better access for emergency services, transforming the urban fabric into a more organized and secure environment. Temples and public buildings were restored or replaced with structures that embodied the imperial vision of resilience and grandeur. Civic pride surged as Romans engaged in communal rebuilding efforts, fostering a sense of unity among the population. The memory of the Inferno became a poignant reminder of vulnerability, prompting philosophical reflections on fate and divine will. This tragic event instilled a lasting awareness of the importance of urban planning and disaster preparedness. The legacy of the Great Fire continues to inform contemporary discussions on urban resilience, echoing the lessons learned from this pivotal moment in history. The role of the emperor during times of crisis often defines the trajectory of a society's recovery. In this instance, Nero's response to the Great Fire is a case study in leadership under duress. Following the blaze, he quickly assumed control, addressing the immediate needs of the populace. Relief efforts included the establishment of temporary shelters and food distribution, illustrating an initial commitment to the welfare of citizens. In implementing rebuilding strategies, priorities shifted towards urban planning. The introduction of wider streets aimed to prevent future fires from spreading unchecked. Fire breaks became a crucial component of city design, reflecting an understanding of urban dynamics. These actions underscored a critical realization. Effective governance requires adaptability in the face of disaster. Nero's decisions were not without controversy. Allegations surfaced regarding his motives, suggesting opportunism in the aftermath of destruction. The construction of a grand palace on the ruins sparked dissent among the populace, indicating the fine line between leadership and autocracy. Case studies from this period reveal a dual narrative of restoration and dissent, highlighting the complexities of managing crises. The balance of authority and public perception remains a significant aspect of historical discourse. In essence, the interplay between leadership decisions and societal response shapes the legacy of any crisis, influencing future governance models. The aftermath of destruction prompted a profound reimagining of urban infrastructure. Architectural brilliance emerged as a response to the devastation, embodying resilience and innovation. The reconstruction of Rome introduced advanced urban planning principles, departing from traditional layouts. Streets widened to improve accessibility, while public spaces were redesigned to enhance community engagement. New building regulations implemented during this period emphasized fire resistance, incorporating materials such as brick and stone, replacing the vulnerable wood structures that had predominated. These changes reflect a desire to safeguard the populace against similar calamities. Distinguished architects and engineers were commissioned to design not only residences, but also monumental public buildings that would symbolize the renewed vitality of the city. The emphasis on aesthetics and utility transformed the skyline. Grand temples and basilicas reflected the artistic values of the era, with intricate facades and spacious interiors that accommodated civic activities. The integration of green spaces also became a priority, promoting the health and well-being of citizens. Alongside monumental architecture, the infrastructure for water management saw significant advancements, ensuring a reliable supply for the growing population. In this evolving urban landscape, the legacy of the past interwove with aspirations for the future. creating a city that was both a reminder of its trials and a beacon of hope for generations to come. The challenges faced by the Vigiles became increasingly apparent as the city expanded. Established as a fire-fighting force, their primary responsibility was to safeguard the bustling streets from the ever-present threat of fire. Yet, the limitations of their resources often hampered effectiveness. The vastness of the urban sprawl rendered it difficult for them to respond promptly to blazes, especially in densely populated areas where narrow, winding roads obstructed access. As the population swelled, the demand for vigilance intensified. With a growing number of structures, many built from highly flammable materials, the risk of catastrophic fires heightened. The vigilers, tasked with overseeing safety, found themselves stretched thin. Their ranks, originally designed for a smaller city, struggled to keep pace with the dynamic expansion. Training and equipment lagged behind emerging challenges, leaving them ill-prepared for the scale of disasters that could strike. Internal strife further complicated their role. Political pressures and shifting priorities from leadership meant that resources were often misallocated. The public's expectations increased as tragedies unfolded, leading to a growing sense of dissatisfaction with the Vigiles' performance. This discontent would resonate through the streets, reflecting a deeper unease about safety in a city that had once symbolized resilience but now faced the shadows of uncertainty. The aftermath of the Great Fire prompted significant legal reforms within the Roman Empire. A city laid bare by devastation required a response that would restore order and confidence among its citizens. New legal frameworks emerged, addressing crucial issues of urban safety and fire prevention. The Vigiles, tasked with maintaining security, were restructured and empowered, transforming them from a mere watch force into a robust firefighting unit. This adjustment reflected the pressing need for proactive measures against future calamities. Building codes were revised, mandating the use of fire-resistant materials and establishing regulations for the spacing of structures. These changes sought to prevent the rapid spread of flames, a critical lesson learned from the destructive force of the fire itself. Tightened regulations also extended to public spaces, ensuring that thoroughfares remained clear of flammable debris. The establishment of penalties for neglecting these new laws served as both a deterrent and a reminder of the fragility of urban life. A collective consciousness emerged, emphasizing community responsibility in safeguarding the environment. Legal accountability became a cornerstone of the evolving Roman identity, intertwining civic duty with the physical layout of the city. Through these adjustments, a framework began to take shape, aiming to rebuild not just the structures, but the very spirit of Rome itself. Women played a crucial role during the crisis, often stepping into the void left by devastation. In these moments of turmoil, they became vital sources of support for their families and communities. Many took on responsibilities that transcended traditional roles, engaging in the distribution of food and supplies to those in need. The urgency of survival prompted a collective effort to care for the wounded and displaced, transforming domestic spaces into centers of refuge. Amid the chaos, these individuals showcased resilience and resourcefulness. Their actions were not merely reactions to the fire, but proactive measures that fostered a sense of solidarity among the populace. Networks formed among women, allowing them to coordinate relief efforts effectively. With the men often occupied or incapacitated, it was this network that ensured the survival of many. Social dynamics shifted as well. The crisis blurred class distinctions. Women from various backgrounds united in their efforts, breaking down barriers that had long separated them. The shared experience of loss and hardship created new avenues for collaboration and mutual aid. In many cases, their experiences during the fire led to a re-evaluation of societal norms, subtly shifting perceptions of women's roles within the broader context of Roman society. The aftermath revealed a latent strength that would influence future generations. This latent strength extended into the spiritual realm, where the Great Fire of 64 AD catalyzed profound shifts in religious practices. The devastation led to a re-evaluation of deities and their roles within society. Temples, once considered sacred and inviolable, lay in ruins, prompting citizens to seek favor from both existing and emerging gods. Rituals became more frequent as individuals sought reassurance in the wake of destruction. Nero, seeking to shift blame from his administration, harnessed this moment to promote the worship of the sun god, Sol. This move reflected a broader trend, as many began to turn towards solar deities, interpreting the fire as a sign of divine discontent. The traditional pantheon faced scrutiny. Worship shifted from well-established practices to an exploration of personal faith and direct connection to the divine. These transitions were not merely superficial. They laid the groundwork for a spiritual landscape that favored individual interpretation and eclecticism. The fervor surrounding these changes saw an increase in the popularity of mystery cults, which promised personal salvation and deeper spiritual experiences. As the community navigated their grief, a new understanding of the divine emerged, illustrating the resilience of the human spirit in the face of calamity and reshaping the very fabric of Roman religious life. The documentation of the Great Fire of 64 AD provides critical insights into both the event and its aftermath. Ancient texts, such as those by Tacitus, offer vivid accounts of the chaos that enveloped the city. Descriptions of flames consuming structures and the desperate cries of citizens reflect the magnitude of the destruction. Tacitus notes the rapid spread of the fire, fueled by the wooden architecture common in this region, which contributed to a swift and devastating blaze. Archaeological evidence complements these narratives. Excavations in affected areas reveal layers of charred remains and remnants of buildings that succumbed to the flames. These ruins, often buried beneath subsequent developments, provide tangible connections to this historical event. Artifacts found within the debris, including pottery and coins, help date the destruction and contextually link it to the testimonies of survivors. The patterns of urban layout altered by the fire indicate a deliberate effort to rebuild. Reconstruction efforts led to wider streets and the introduction of fire-resistant materials. Marking a shift in architectural practices, they reflect a newfound awareness of urban safety and public health, a direct consequence of the inferno. Documentation and evidence converge, illuminating not only the fire's impact, but also the transformation of the city's infrastructure and the enduring legacy of the event within Roman society. The aftermath of the Great Fire of 64 AD extended far beyond immediate devastation, reverberating through the economic fabric of Rome. The destruction of commercial districts disrupted trade routes that had flourished for centuries. Merchants faced significant losses as shops and warehouses were reduced to ash, leading to a scarcity of goods. This limited supply created inflation, raising prices across various sectors, which in turn compelled citizens to adapt to new economic realities. The once bustling marketplaces, now charred remnants, struggled to recover. The dismantling of established trade networks, necessitated the establishment of new connections, fostering a slow and arduous rebuilding process. Commodities that had been readily available became precious, shifting the dynamics of commerce. Local producers faced challenges in sourcing materials, while importers sought alternative suppliers beyond the city's charred borders. Investment patterns shifted as well. Some wealthier citizens seized the opportunity to capitalize on the city's reconstruction, funding new ventures and participating in the burgeoning real estate market. The influx of labor, drawn by the demand for rebuilding, transformed the workforce, further diversifying the economic landscape. These changes did not occur in isolation. The ripple effects of the fire extended throughout the empire, influencing trade policies and economic strategies from the provinces to the heart of Rome. The repercussions on Roman citizenship were significant, altering both rights and responsibilities within the empire. In the wake of the devastation, the government initiated reforms aimed at restoring faith among the populace. Citizenship, once a privilege reserved for the elite, began to expand in scope. Those who had previously been denied this status now found avenues to claim it, particularly if they had demonstrated bravery during the crisis or contributed to rebuilding efforts. Rights associated with citizenship, such as legal protection and participation in civic life, became increasingly important in this period of uncertainty. The desire for stability prompted local leaders to advocate for the inclusion of diverse groups, emphasizing the necessity of unity in the face of adversity. Societal roles shifted as the need for skilled labor grew in reconstruction efforts, elevating those who had once been marginalized. Responsibilities also evolved. Citizens were urged to participate actively in the revitalization of their communities. This included not only physical labor but also financial contributions to support rebuilding projects. The sense of duty expanded beyond mere participation, fostering a collective identity among the citizens of this region. The Great Fire served as a crucible, reshaping the fabric of Roman society and redefining the relationship between the individual and the state in profound ways. Political reforms emerged in the aftermath of the Great Fire, catalyzing significant shifts within the governance of Rome. The chaos that enveloped the city served as a stark reminder of vulnerabilities, prompting leaders to reassess the mechanisms of control and safety. In this climate of urgency, the establishment of the Vigilers, a combined force of firefighters and police, marked a pivotal evolution in public safety. Their presence not only aimed to prevent future disasters, but also reinforced the state's authority over urban life. Legislative changes followed, focusing on the construction codes and urban planning. Structures were mandated to be built with less flammable materials, reflecting a newfound emphasis on disaster preparedness. The cityscape began to transform, with wider streets and improved access routes designed for emergency response. These regulations, though initially seen as a burden, gradually instilled a sense of security among the populace. At the same time, political discourse shifted. The emperor's role became increasingly intertwined with public welfare, as citizens demanded accountability and transparency. The connection between governance and the well-being of the people strengthened, resulting in a more engaged citizenry. This period set the stage for a new era in which the state actively sought to protect its citizens, altering the dynamics of power and responsibility in Roman life indefinitely. The historical significance of the Great Fire of 64 AD extends beyond its immediate devastation, influencing generations of historians. This event became a focal point for examining the interplay between governance and public safety. Many chroniclers viewed the fire as a pivotal moment that revealed the vulnerabilities of urban centers, prompting reflections on accountability and leadership. Notable historians like Tacitus documented the catastrophe with a blend of observation and critique, emphasizing how Nero's response shaped public perceptions. The vivid accounts of destruction and subsequent reconstruction efforts provided a lens through which future historians would assess imperial priorities. These narratives highlighted a dichotomy in leadership styles, contrasting benevolence with negligence. The portrayal of Nero, often mired in controversy, became a case study in the manipulation of public sentiment and the role of media in shaping historical memory. In the aftermath, the evolution of urban planning and emergency management systems took root, as subsequent rulers learned from the failures exposed by the fire. The disaster prompted intellectual discourse about resilience, adaptation, and the responsibilities of those in power. Each retelling contributed layers of interpretation, influencing not just the understanding of Roman history, but also the broader discourse on governance and civic duty. The Great Fire remains a salient reminder of the enduring impact of calamity on societal evolution. Literary representations of the Great Fire capture the complexities of this historical event through various lenses. Poets and historians of the time sought to convey the emotional and societal turmoil that ensued. These narratives often reveal the duality of destruction and rebirth, highlighting the resilience of the Roman populace amidst devastation. Historians meticulously documented the fire's progression, describing the rapid spread fueled by the wooden structures of the city. Their accounts detail how flames consumed neighborhoods, transforming the vibrant urban landscape into a chaotic inferno. The vivid depictions emphasize the fear and disarray felt by the citizens, capturing the moment when panic overtook the streets as the city succumbed to the advancing flames. Poets, conversely, employed metaphor and symbolism to explore broader themes of fate and divine retribution. Their verses often reflect the moral implications of the disaster, suggesting a link between the calamity and the actions of the emperor. The literary works of this period reveal a deep-seated anxiety regarding leadership and the precarious nature of civilization. As these authors crafted their narratives, they contributed to a collective memory, shaping how subsequent generations would perceive the event. Their words ensure that the echoes of the Great Fire endure, illustrating not only the historical significance, but also the profound human experience intertwined with disaster. Beyond this, public health emerged as a critical concern following the Great Fire of 64 AD. The devastation left behind vast areas of destruction, making sanitation an urgent priority for the restoration of the city. With debris scattered across the landscape, the risk of disease outbreaks became imminent. It was imperative to clear the remnants of the fire and implement effective waste management systems to safeguard the population. Efforts were made to establish improved drainage systems within this ravaged urban environment. The eventual introduction of more structured sewage and water systems aimed to reduce the health risks posed by stagnant water and decaying organic material. The role of the vigilers extended beyond firefighting. They were tasked with maintaining order and ensuring the cleanliness of the streets, contributing to the overall well-being of the citizens. In response to the devastation, public spaces were redesigned to enhance ventilation and reduce crowding, recognizing the correlation between urban planning and health. These transformations were crucial in fostering a safer urban experience, emphasizing the necessity of communal responsibility in health matters. The lessons learned from the aftermath of the fire influenced subsequent policies, laying the groundwork for future public health initiatives. This period marked a pivotal shift in the understanding of urban resilience and the importance of sanitation in preserving life amidst adversity. Troop deployment played a crucial role in restoring order during this chaotic time. The Roman military, particularly the vigiles, was mobilized to alleviate the immediate threats posed by the flames and the ensuing panic. Their presence was instrumental in coordinating firefighting efforts and establishing a semblance of control. These soldiers, trained for various forms of civil disturbance, effectively managed the crowd, urging the populace to evacuate the most affected areas. In the days following the inferno, the military's focus shifted from firefighting to the restoration of social order. It became evident that the chaos had given rise to looting and unrest among the survivors, amplifying the sense of desperation. Troops patrolled the streets, providing security and reassurance to those who remained. They safeguarded essential supplies, which were crucial for the survival of the city's population. As rebuilding efforts commenced, the military facilitated logistics and transportation of materials necessary for reconstruction. This included everything from timber to food supplies. The infrastructure of the city was methodically assessed, allowing for both immediate repairs and long-term planning. The experience gained during this crisis would later influence military strategies in urban environments, demonstrating the importance of preparedness in facing urban disasters. The lessons learned shaped future military responses, emphasizing the delicate balance between defense and civil support. The aftermath of the Great Fire of 64 AD prompted a re-evaluation of urban infrastructure within Rome. This catastrophic event revealed vulnerabilities in the existing design, exposing the need for more resilient architectural practices. Rebuilding efforts initiated a shift toward enhanced fire-resistant materials such as brick and stone, replacing the predominant use of wood that had fueled the flames. The new urban planning strategies introduced wider streets, facilitating better access for emergency services, including the vigiles, the city's firefighting brigade. This reconfiguration aimed to prevent future conflagrations from spreading uncontrollably. Increased spacing between buildings allowed for more effective fire breaks, minimizing the potential for adjacent structures to ignite. As the city reconstructed, zoning regulations began to consider the placement of public amenities. Open spaces emerged, providing communal areas that also served as emergency assembly points. The integration of gardens and parks became a priority, promoting not only aesthetic benefits but also enhancing air quality and reducing urban heat. This period saw the introduction of building codes, of emphasizing safety and resilience over mere aesthetics. The shifting paradigm in urban design marked a significant departure from previous practices, reflecting a growing awareness of the environment and the impact of human activity on cityscapes. The Great Fire consumed vast sections of the city, exacerbated by the environmental conditions present at that time. The summer of 64 AD marked a period of severe drought, leading to desiccated vegetation and dry structures. Such arid conditions proved to be a catalyst for the flames, allowing them to spread with alarming speed. Wind patterns typical of this region further aggravated the situation, directing embers and firebrands across wooden edifices, igniting additional areas and creating a chaotic firestorm. The urban landscape, characterized by narrow alleyways and closely packed buildings, facilitated the rapid transmission of heat and flames. This design, while ideal for maximizing space within the bustling metropolis, became a liability when faced with the relentless advance of fire. As the conflagration raged, temperatures soared, creating convection currents that intensified the fire's voracity. The very architecture, composed predominantly of timber, became a veritable fuel source in this environment. The response of emergency services was hampered. The vigilers, tasked with fire prevention and control, were limited both in numbers and resources. Their efforts to combat the flames were often futile against such overwhelming odds. The combination of climate, urban design, and inadequate response created a perfect storm, leading to devastation that reshaped the city and its populace. Modern retellings of the Great Fire of 64 AD often draw upon the dramatic imagery and societal impacts that emerged from this event. Various artistic mediums, including literature, film, and visual arts, have revisited the fire as a symbol of chaos and transformation. These interpretations frequently highlight the figure of Nero, portraying a ruler caught between ambition and disaster. In cinematic portrayals, the fire serves as a backdrop for narratives that explore themes of power, betrayal, and the survival of the human spirit amidst ruin. The visual representation of flames consuming the city often reflects a broader commentary on the vulnerabilities of civilization. Directors and screenwriters incorporate historical details, yet they amplify personal stories of those affected, giving voice to citizens experiencing loss and fear. Literary adaptations have similarly engaged with the event, offering perspectives from both the elite and the common citizen. These narratives often delve into the psychological and emotional ramifications of disaster, allowing readers to connect with the past on a human level. Visual artists have also captured the essence of destruction and rebirth, using the fire as an allegory for change. Through varied interpretations, the Great Fire continues to resonate, serving as a profound reminder of the fragility of urban life and the complexities of historical memory. Archaeological investigations into the Great Fire of 64 Anno Domini have unveiled significant findings that shed light on its impact and the socio-political environment of ancient Rome. Excavations in areas previously thought to be untouched have revealed layers of charred remains, indicative of intense heat and rapid destruction. These deposits contain fragments of pottery and building materials, suggesting a once thriving neighborhood that succumbed to the flames. Notably, the discovery of large sections of collapsed structures has provided insights into the architectural practices of the time. Walls, once adorned with frescoes, now lie in ruins, their surfaces blackened, preserving a moment frozen in time. This region has also yielded remnants of the famous Via Sacra, where the aftermath of the fire reshaped public spaces and altered urban planning. Ceramic artifacts found amidst the debris indicate a shift in daily life, with evidence of hastily abandoned households and disrupted commerce. Patterns of destruction suggest a swift and chaotic evacuation, with valuable items left behind in the desperate rush to escape. The analysis of these findings contributes to a deeper understanding of the societal response to calamity. The ruins serve as a silent testament to resilience and adaptation in the wake of devastation, illuminating how communities rebuild and redefine themselves in the aftermath of disaster. Religious interpretations surrounding the Great Fire of 64 AD reveal the complexities of belief in the face of immense destruction. Many contemporaries perceived the flames as an embodiment of divine retribution, a punishment for the moral decay of Roman society. This notion permeated public discourse, leading to widespread speculation regarding the gods' displeasure. Temples, once revered, were scrutinized for their apparent failure to protect the populace from calamity. Priests and religious leaders sought to interpret the event through the lenses of prophecy and divine will. They posited that such catastrophic occurrences were not mere accidents but manifestations of celestial judgment. The populace, grappling with grief and confusion, often turned to rituals and offerings, attempting to appease the deities believed to be angered by the city's transgressions. This response encapsulated the human desire for understanding and control over uncontrollable forces. In the aftermath, the conversion of temples into sites of mourning illustrated a shift in religious practice. These sacred spaces became venues for reflection and penance. The devastation prompted an exploration of moral accountability, igniting debates about the ethical responsibilities of both leaders and citizens. In this context, the fire transcended its physical destruction, igniting a collective introspection that would resonate throughout Roman history, shaping religious and cultural narratives for generations to come. The relationship between rulers and the ruled during this period was complex, revealing layers of power dynamics often obscured by the rhetoric of leadership. In the aftermath of the fire, the emperor's authority was scrutinized as citizens sought to understand how such devastation could occur under imperial watch. This event catalyzed a shift in perception, where the populace began to question the effectiveness and intentions of their leaders. Nero's response to the tragedy reflected a delicate balance between appeasement and control. The Vigiles, a newly organized firefighting force, were tasked with restoring order amidst the chaos, yet their presence also signified an increased militarization of civil life. The imposition of order was crucial, as it allowed the emperor to reclaim fractured trust, albeit temporarily. Public works and aid were swiftly implemented, showcasing benevolence in the face of calamity. Citizens, witnessing this response, oscillated between gratitude and resentment. The rebuilding efforts, while necessary, were imbued with political undertones. Architectural grandeur became a tool for the emperor to assert dominance, framing his rule as a benevolent force. This era, marked by both destruction and reconstruction, the Great Fire, which engulfed Rome in the summer of 64 AD, left an indelible mark on the city's history. It ravaged vast sections, consuming homes and temples alike, while the flames illuminated the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the chaos. In the aftermath, the reconstruction efforts began under the rule of Emperor Nero, whose controversial decisions shaped public perception. Satire emerged as a potent reflection of societal attitudes towards the calamity and its leadership. Writers like Petronius and Juvenal used wit and irony to critique the excesses of the elite, revealing a populace grappling with loss and uncertainty. This form of expression provided an outlet for frustration, allowing citizens to voice their discontent without direct confrontation. The Vigiles, tasked with firefighting and maintaining order, became both heroes and scapegoats. Their efforts to combat the inferno were often overshadowed by rumors that Nero himself had orchestrated the disaster to clear space for his ambitious building projects. This ambiguity fed into the satire as the line between truth and exaggeration blurred, reflecting a climate of distrust. The ruins left in the fire's wake served as a reminder, fostering a culture of resilience. Rebuilding was not merely physical, it represented a collective hope for the future amidst the ashes of the past. Festivals and public gatherings emerged as vital instruments in the healing process. These events fostered a sense of community, allowing citizens to gather in shared spaces, reinforcing social bonds that had been frayed by disaster. The sights and sounds of celebration enveloped the city, transforming areas once marked by devastation into vibrant hubs of joy and unity. Ceremonies honoring the gods took center stage, invoking blessings for protection and prosperity. Processions filled the streets, adorned with flowers and offerings. The presence of the Vestal Virgins and other religious figures provided a sense of divine oversight, reassuring the populace that renewal was not merely a human endeavor, but guided by higher powers. Entertainment flourished alongside these rituals. Theaters and public squares witnessed performances that ranged from dramatic plays to athletic competitions, offering both distraction and inspiration. This cultural rejuvenation played a pivotal role in shifting the narrative from loss to resilience. And the backdrop, the newly constructed structures designed with the lessons of the fire in mind, stood as testament to the innovative spirit of the citizens. These rebuildings incorporated improved fire regulations and materials, emphasizing safety as a cornerstone of their efforts. Together, these festivals and gatherings became essential in creating a renewed identity for the city, one that embraced both its storied past and its hopeful future. The Great Fire of 64 AD marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of emergency services within the Roman Empire. This catastrophic event ignited in the densely populated neighborhoods, rapidly spreading through wooden structures and narrow streets, consuming vast sections of the city in mere days. As flames engulfed the iconic architecture, the urgency of human safety became paramount. In response to the devastation, Nero established the Vigilas, an organized group tasked with firefighting and street patrol. This initiative reflected a shift from ad hoc efforts to a more systematic approach in safeguarding urban populations. The Vigilas operated not only as firefighters, but also as a form of civil defense, a necessity highlighted by the chaos that ensued during the fire. Equipped with basic tools and firefighting techniques, their presence marked a significant transition in how cities managed crises. The organization ensured that a semblance of order returned to the city, contributing to a sense of security in an environment previously vulnerable to random disasters. In the aftermath, the reconstruction of Rome introduced more fire-resistant materials and broader streets, a direct response to the lessons learned. This transformation underscored a commitment to urban resilience, shaping future responses to disasters in this ancient metropolis and beyond. Architectural innovation flourished in the wake of devastation, prompting a re-evaluation of design principles. The enduring impact of the Great Fire of 64 AD prompted a shift towards fire-resistant materials, such as brick and concrete, replacing the vulnerable wooden structures that had characterized the city. This transition not only influenced the skyline, but also laid the foundation for future infrastructure developments. Influenced by the event, the incorporation of wider streets and open spaces became a hallmark of Roman urban planning. These adjustments were intended to facilitate better airflow and reduce the risk of fire spreading through densely populated areas. Such changes reflected a pragmatic approach, emphasizing functionality alongside aesthetic appeal. The introduction of innovative architectural features, like vaulted ceilings and domed structures, became prevalent as builders sought to create more durable and visually striking edifices. This newfound aesthetic was marked by a blend of grandeur and practicality, with temples and public buildings adorned with intricate carvings and expansive colonnades, signaling a commitment to resilience alongside beauty. Additionally, the integration of gardens and landscaped areas emerged as a vital aspect of urban design, enhancing both the environmental quality and the cultural identity of the city. These elements fostered a sense of community, linking the past with aspirations for a safer, more harmonious future. This evolution in Roman architecture would echo throughout subsequent centuries, influencing countless cultures and cities far beyond its origins. The memory of the Great Fire of 64 AD became a pivotal moment in Roman society, shaping perceptions of leadership and urban resilience. In the aftermath, discussions about responsibility emerged, with fingers pointed toward Emperor Nero. The public sentiment oscillated between admiration for his reconstruction efforts and suspicion regarding his involvement in the disaster. This dichotomy infused the city with a sense of unease, leading to a complex relationship between the populace and their ruler. The Vigiles, a newly established fire brigade, became symbols of public safety and urban governance. Their presence was a response to the chaos that ensued, representing an evolving understanding of civic duty. Engaging in proactive measures, they patrolled the streets, monitored potential hazards, and educated citizens about fire prevention. This proactive approach marked a shift in societal attitudes toward urban management, emphasizing the importance of preparedness. In literature and art, the memory of the fire manifested in various forms. Writers and historians documented the event, often using it as a metaphor for moral decay or divine retribution. These narratives contributed to a collective memory, entwining the Great Fire with the identity of Rome itself. The scars left by the flames served as reminders of the fragility of civilization, urging future generations to reflect on the delicate balance between growth and destruction. Both events reveal a striking similarity in their capacity to reshape urban landscapes and societal structures. The Great Fire of 64 AD engulfed Rome, leading to vast destruction and prompting Emperor Nero to implement significant urban reforms. The rebuilding process favored grand architecture and improved safety measures, yet the shadow of suspicion lingered over the emperor's intentions. But in contrast, the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 erupted with remarkable speed. Fueled by a confluence of dry conditions and wooden structures, the aftermath transformed Chicago into a testament to modernity, with a new focus on steel and brick constructions. Both fires exposed vulnerabilities in urban planning and emergency response, highlighting the necessity for organized firefighting efforts, which were lacking in both instances. In the aftermath of these tragedies, societal responses exhibited a common thread of resilience. The establishment of fire departments, like Chicago's organized fire response, mirrored the Roman vigiles, tasked with protecting the city from future calamities. Each fire became a catalyst for change, prompting advancements in building regulations and fire safety measures. At the Great Fire of 64 AD, and the Great Chicago Fire stand as pivotal moments in history, illustrating how devastation can lead to innovation. The influence of the Great Fire on subsequent emperors is profound, shaping policies and urban planning for generations. After the Inferno, leaders recognized the necessity of stringent fire regulations, prompting a shift in governance. It became evident that urban density, combined with flammable materials, posed significant risks. This realization led to the establishment of comprehensive building codes aimed at protecting the populace from future disasters. The Vigilers, an early form of a firefighting unit, emerged as a direct response to the chaos of the fire. Their organization signified a proactive approach to public safety. Equipped with basic tools and structured training, they patrolled the streets, providing a sense of security in a city that had known great loss. Subsequent emperors, observing the aftermath, adopted these lessons to bolster their authority and improve urban resilience. The reconstruction of Rome, influenced by this calamity, included wider streets and the use of fire-resistant materials, promoting a safer environment. The emphasis on public infrastructure reflected an understanding that the well-being of citizens was essential for social stability. This historical event not only transformed urban design, but also reshaped the relationship between leaders and their subjects, fostering a sense of responsibility that resonated through the ages. The legacy of the fire remains a testament to resilience and adaptation in the face of adversity. The event catalyzed a profound shift in the Roman psyche, intertwining the notions of nationalism and unity. This catastrophe illuminated the vulnerabilities of the vast city and its inhabitants, drawing citizens closer in a shared experience of loss. Amidst the crumbling architecture, a collective identity began to emerge, fueled by the need to rebuild and restore what had been lost. The fires, although destructive, served as a crucible for civic pride, fostering a newfound commitment to the empire's endurance. In the aftermath, new building codes were implemented, reshaping the urban landscape with a focus on safety and resilience. Structures were designed with wider streets and fire-resistant materials, creating an environment that symbolized both progress and unity. The transformation of the city became emblematic of a unified Roman identity. Citizens, regardless of class or status, contributed to the rebuilding efforts, fostering a sense of camaraderie that transcended previous divisions. Public ceremonies commemorated the event, celebrating the strength of the community. These gatherings reinforced the idea of a shared destiny, further solidifying loyalty to the emperor and the state. The narrative surrounding the fire evolved into one of national pride, capturing the spirit of a people who, despite facing dire circumstances, emerged with renewed purpose and vigor, forever altering the course of Roman history. The complex interplay between the Great Fire and Roman military conflicts is significant. The devastation of 64 AD fueled a series of shifts in both strategy and societal focus. In the aftermath of the flames, resources previously allocated for military endeavors were redirected toward rebuilding efforts. This redirection impacted troop deployments and the logistics of defense, as the empire sought to restore its capital. The fire exposed vulnerabilities within the city, prompting a re-evaluation of urban fortifications. Military leaders recognized the need to enhance the protective measures surrounding critical infrastructure. This region, once fortified against external threats, required internal resilience against disaster. The rebuilding efforts included innovations in construction techniques, integrating fire-resistant materials that would inform military architecture for generations. Amidst these changes, conflicts with external foes continued. The Parthian Empire, among others, posed ongoing challenges that demanded attention and resources. The implications of the fire forced military commanders to balance immediate recovery with the need to maintain a strong front against adversaries. Troops stationed in provinces found themselves engaged in safeguarding the empire's integrity, while the heart of Rome was consumed by flames. In this context, the Great Fire served as a catalyst, shaping military strategies that would resonate through subsequent conflicts, reinforcing the bond between urban resilience and military might. The devastation wrought by the flames irrevocably altered the social fabric of Rome. Neighborhoods, once vibrant centers of commerce and community life, lay in ruins, forcing inhabitants to reconfigure their daily existence. The aftermath saw a surge in the formation of informal associations as displaced citizens sought solidarity in the wake of loss. These groups emerged not only to provide mutual support, but also to forge new identities amid the ashes. The devastation prompted a re-evaluation of social hierarchies. Those who had once occupied positions of privilege found their status diminished, as the fire stripped away the physical manifestations of wealth and power. In contrast, the less fortunate began to assert themselves, leveraging community networks to access resources and aid. This shift fostered a sense of collective resilience, with citizens banding together to navigate the challenges of rebuilding. Assistance from the state became a critical component in this transitional phase. The emperor's edicts aimed at revitalizing the city included provisions for housing and employment, creating a new relationship between the populace and the governing elite. As reconstruction efforts advanced, the streets of Rome began to reflect this new social dynamic, showcasing not only the scars of the fire, but also the enduring spirit of its citizens who sought to redefine their existence within this transformed landscape. The unfolding events of 64 AD marked a pivotal moment in Roman history, serving as a catalyst for profound transformation. This incident, while devastating, prompted significant changes in urban planning and governance. The aftermath revealed vulnerabilities in the city's infrastructure, leading to a re-evaluation of safety protocols and fire regulations. The establishment of the Vigilers, a firefighting force, exemplified the immediate response to these vulnerabilities, ensuring better protection for the populace against future calamities. In this climate of reconstruction, the Great Fire also influenced the political landscape. Nero's controversial leadership during the crisis ignited debates and dissent that would resonate through subsequent decades. This period witnessed a shift in public perception as citizens began to demand greater accountability from their leaders, reshaping the relationship between the emperor and the Roman people. Cultural expressions flourished in response to the tragedy, with art and literature reflecting themes of resilience and rebirth. The legacy of the fire extended beyond the immediate aftermath, contributing to a collective memory that would inform Roman identity. The scars left upon the city served not merely as reminders of loss, but as symbols of renewal and hope. The lessons drawn from this event extend beyond the confines of its immediate aftermath. This moment in history underscores the resilience of urban communities in the face of disaster. It reveals how societies can rebuild, adapt, and innovate in response to adversity. The reconstruction of Rome after the fire reflected not only architectural ingenuity, but also a collective determination to move forward. Innovations in building materials and urban planning emerged, paving the way for future infrastructure. The establishment of the Vigilers, an organized force tasked with fire prevention and public safety, illustrated the need for structured responses to urban challenges. This initiative highlights the importance of preparedness and community engagement, concepts that remain relevant in contemporary city management. As cities evolve, the lessons learned from the Great Fire serve as a reminder of the necessity for robust emergency services and effective urban policies. For Maxence Caesar, in examining the historical narrative, the interplay between leadership and public welfare becomes evident. The actions of leadership during crises shape the legacy of a community. This incident emphasizes the significance of accountability and foresight in governance. Future generations can draw from this episode, recognizing that the scars of tragedy can foster growth and insight.